Artists from around the world are also paying tribute to Mandela. One of them is the revered U.S. poet and author Maya Angelou, who wrote a poem in honor of the man known as Madiba. She sat down with CCTV and gave us her thoughts on the South African president's life.
I met President Nelson Mandela before he was a president. I met him in Egypt. I lived in Egypt. I was married to a South African freedom fighter. And President Mandela, or at that time, Nelson Mandela, was a South African freedom fighter. He was a member and, in fact, a leader of the ANC, the African National Congress. And I was married to a man who was a PAC, Pan-African Congress, and they were rivals. The most wonderful thing I learned about Nelson Mandela 50 years ago was that he was very kind. All the other freedom fighters, they could fight, they could argue, they'd shout at each other, but Mr. Mandela never shouted. He was very kind to everybody. He was just kind. And it was so unusual to me because I was married to a group that shouted and screamed and almost cursed each other. And so I was impressed and informed by him. We became friends. He and his wife then, Winnie, and I became sister friends. It was amazing to see how generous he was to everybody, white, black. I went to South Africa for his inauguration with the Hillary Clinton group. We went for the inauguration. And I was so pleased to see that he invited all the white apartheid guards who had guarded him for 27 years in prison. He invited them to his inauguration with their families. And it wasn't a case where he was saying, come and see how, I'm free now. It wasn't. It was really generous, generosity, kindness of spirit. He asked all those men and their families to come and sit and be a part of the celebration. He said, this is a celebration for South Africa. Amazing. I learned a lot from Nelson Mandela. I remember how great it is to be generous and to be forgiving. And that's what he's taught us, the world, how to be forgiving. He had a wonderful sense of humor, too. Very few people, I think few people know that, except those who knew President Mandela. And the truth is, Nelson Mandela was a teacher. He could have been a preacher, a rabbi, an imam. He was a teacher. He taught us all, and he loved us all, black and white, fat and thin, pretty and plain, gay and straight. He loved us.